everybody. Welcome once again to another exciting episode of CreativiTEA, where we sip on tea and then give you the tea on trending issues and everything creativity. So today is going to be an amazing time because I have some special people in the house today. I'm very excited. I'm very excited because I think we're going to learn a lot on this episode of CreativiTEA. Today we're going to be talking to the brains behind the trending movie of 2024. I mean, Breath of Life. I'm sure everybody have seen that movie. If you have not seen it, what are you waiting for? Today we're going to be talking to the brains behind it. I have here with me Mr. BB Sasore, popularly known as BB Sasore. Please, did I pronounce it well?
Yeah, it's okay. Sasore, BB Sasore.
Sasore. Oh, I am so sorry.
No.
Yeah, he's the founder of CreativiTEA Studios, and CreativiTEA Studios is the production company that was in charge of Breath of Life and so many other amazing movies like Before 30, there's God's Calling, Banana Island Ghost, you name it. So we have the brain behind that company right here in the house. And we also have a seasoned cinematographer in the house, and he's the one who also did the picture for Breath of Life and so many other movies that we're going to talk about today. And I'm talking about Ola Cardoso. So welcome to CreativiTEA. Please, I hope you guys are not shy because we're going to go into details today. We need all the details about how you were able to make such a stellar film. But I think we should just start from the beginning. Let me start with you, Mr. BB Sasore. Oh, God, help me with this name. Sasore. I'm very bad with it. Don't mind me. I can't even speak my language.
Don't worry.
So.
The number of names that Ola laughs at my Yoruba all the time. So,
are you serious?
yes.
Thank God.
No, you're getting
alone.
better. Baby. Don't worry.
I go for some until he lands. Don't worry.
Oh, so you don't speak Yoruba very well?
Nope.
You didn't grow up
I
in the
speak.
country?
I did, but I don't know.
But your parents are Yoruba?
My parents are fully Yoruba.
Okay.
All my siblings except my immediate brother and I
Oh, can't speak.
just don't speak Yoruba well.
Interesting.
And in the entire crew, Ola's boys, now Yoruba they're gonna blow. So if you like don't understand what they're saying, you're on your own. Who are you? So it forces you to,
So
and
just
you know, as best as we can. It's important that we sort of try to keep. But I mean, your both don't mind them. Well, as long as we're trying, is enough.
Yeah,
as long as you can understand me. That's why I say to Ola.
Yeah,
can you
language
understand
is
what I'm
not.
saying?
It's not about speaking it right. I think it's about communication. If people can understand what you're saying, that's what matters.
Yeah, thank you.
It's the same as music. You know, we vibe to music. We don't even understand what they're saying.
Yes,
Real
And
talk.
at the end of the day,
yes,
you know.
yes.
I don't know one word that Portable is saying. But the thing is mad. Forget.
Yeah, right.
Forget. Before
Yeah,
you
right.
open mouth, the song don't finish. It's mad.
Okay, so let's go back to the deal of the day, Mr. BB Sasore. Oh, I'm getting good at it.
Yes.
So I learned you read biological sciences, right?
Yes.
And then you went on to the New York film to study directing.
Yes.
Okay. Now, it seems to me that you had it good growing up to be able to have access, you know, to New York Film School and all of that. Can you tell me a little bit about your childhood and what inspired you into, you know, this?
Yeah. I mean,
industry?
I think that sometimes in the way the world is today, it feels like something to sort of be a bit ashamed of being privileged. But I think it's a testimony to my parents. I'm quite proud that I was fortunate to grow up, you know, yes, privileged. I went to good schools, and I was able to go abroad to university, to college. So I went to Rutgers University. I studied biochemistry that became biology because biochemistry was too hard. I wanted to do medical studies. I wanted to be a doctor. I always dreamt of being a surgeon. So I was pre-med, graduated, took the MCATs, didn't study, failed. Took the MCATs again, didn't study a second time, failed again. But really, the reason I realized something about myself is that I am extremely lazy or extremely hardworking. I don't have a middle gear. I'm extremely lazy when I don't care about something. And like most people, once you care about it, it doesn't feel like work. And so the thing that really had sort of bubbled to the top for me was film and motion picture and that stuff. And so I looked around and said I wanted to learn more about that, because every night I was watching films instead of studying anyway. And so after a bunch of fighting with my parents, I went to the New York Film Academy. It was a 1-year course. And very briefly, I'll say that the big thing about film school, it was great for someone like me. I always say to Cardo that people like Cardo don't need film school. There are two kinds of people. There are the people who get up and do it.
Yeah.
And then there are people who need to be pushed to do it.
To do it, yeah.
I need to be pushed. If you don't give me a deadline or home, I'm not good. If you say, please read this script now, but we're not about to talk about it for 1 year, I'm not going to read it for 1 year. But randomly, Cardo will just come in. Have you seen this film? I was reading this, can you that? Sometimes, you know. So those sort of people, he just gets up and shoots every day. I need a reason to go and shoot. What is the film we're doing? What is it? And that's where film school is good. So it forces you to go and do stuff. So for people who think about film school and so on, you need to just ask yourself, are you a self-motivated person? If you're a self-motivated person, waste of time, waste of money.
Really?
Yes, because all the information is out there, it's online, it's da-da-da. And the biggest thing, but if you're not someone who motivates yourself, that's what systems and structures are built for. They force you to do things, right? So it tells you, okay, go to film school. Today, these are the assignments. Turn on the camera. This is the that, this the. So after film school, it sort of got easier to do things, but it was still a sort of turbulent journey. But yes, to answer your question, fortunate childhood, and I was able to, after my stint at Rutgers, go on to learn film and worked on some independent films in New York, and then I moved back to Nigeria when I met my partner Darren, and we founded Nemsha Studios together.
Interesting. And now you're working with Cardoso, and then on the flip side, Cardoso did not go to film school, right?
Cardoso is the film school.
So no, but it's funny. I didn't go to film school, but I did a lot of masterclass online. I was like,
okay,
I'm a fan of, oh, this guy is great. He's having a masterclass. Man, I paid, and I just want to go through it from there to toe. Like, I'm that kind of person. Right now, I'm even still looking at one. That's just like you said. Someone like me, even me, I feel like I still need motivation. Like, I just don't wake up and feel like I want to do this. I still tap from people's idea, and most of the time, based on and for me, I feel like people say don't watch TV too much, don't be on the internet too much. But I feel like sometimes that's where we get the motivations from, So most of the time it's just what you see randomly, and you feel like, okay, I'm inspired with this.
But you're very good at your job, and majorly you learned it from online, social media,
Well, people
YouTube.
say I'm very good at it, but to be honest with you, I'm only trying, to be honest.
Oh, that's cool.
Because there are so many unanswered questions, to be honest with you.
Please don't let him whine you.
So many unanswered questions. I feel like, he said I don't need film school. I feel like going to film school, to be honest.
Okay.
I was telling someone yesterday, the guy called me and was like, he's been into this for 20 years. He's been working with, media company, maybe a news, whatever. And he said he wanted to come to see me. I was like, what's it all about, to be honest? Because I've been telling people I don't have that time to accommodate people. Because back in those days, I always have a lot of boys that works with me. But at some point, I started cutting it down because I wasn't focusing on myself. I was focusing on them. And Yoruba used to use this word. They said, "Obongbe obo gongpe." If you know this tree, what's it called? The banana leaf. You can't climb it on your own. Now, imagine you having someone on your back, and you want to, it's not possible. That's what it means. So for me, I just feel like, let me focus on myself, and it's been that. And literally what I told the guy was that there's a film school I know in Nigeria that a lot of my friends attended, and I feel like it's the perfect school for you. Since you've been in this for 20 years, it's called NFI or something in Jos. Just go there. Don't worry about Ola. Ola won't help you. Ola will just mess you up. Trust me. And he took it and he was like, are you sure? I said, trust me. And that's what I've been telling people ever since,
But you still didn't go at the end of the day, and you're still good.
That
So
time is the problem
it's still
because
a
it's
good.
a year course.
No, because it's crazy. You know why I'm saying that? Why
Okay.
I'm stressing on this, so that people out there will not have any excuse for not doing what they are supposed to do. Be like, oh no, I didn't go to film school. I don't have money to go to New York film school like Mr. BB. That's why I did not produce a movie that is like Breath of Life. There's no excuse. Everything is
Honestly, it's
online.
not about the school, like BB said.
Exactly.
Honestly, it's not about the school. It's about you, because even the top directors will tell you just pick a camera, go out there, shoot, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, wherever you
Repeatedly.
take it from Nigeria, take it from Hollywood. Spielberg didn't go to film school. In fact, he dropped out of film school. He was shooting stuff when he was 8, 10, 12, whatever
Wow.
it is. He made his first film, I think, at 19. So Cardoso doesn't need to go to any film school. It's a complete waste of time. You should be teaching the people at the film school.
But that's interesting. But I'm going
I
to come
wish.
back to whether or not your being at film school in New York kind of like affected or impacted your movies here in Nigeria.
For sure.
But I want to start with this question. You finished your film school in New York, right? Why didn't you do movies in New York? Why did you decide to come back
So
to
I did some.
Nigeria?
I did some independent films, and you always have that struggle that I grew up in the final, final golden age or the final age of Hollywood where you sort of move out to LA, you're a waiter, then you're waiting, you get, the way actors are going to auditions, you are trying to get representation as a writer and as a, and hoping somebody will give you a chance and things like that, and do short films and go to festivals. I think that world is sort of dying a bit. I think the thing the internet did over the last 20 years and social media did is that it sort of created this, you can find the people with the talent anywhere, right? So that the only place that's still a bit of a hub is maybe Silicon Valley for tech, and even that is spreading out. But LA, they make a lot of stuff there, but you find that they found this person in Australia, they found this person in Lagos, they found this person in Kenya, they find, because they've made a film where they are, they've put it on YouTube, it's done something interesting, So I struggle with that. Should I go out to LA? I visited a couple of times. I loved New York as a city. I still do. I never quite was gutsy enough. Like I said, I'm someone who needs pushing and motivation. And then, unfortunately, my father passed away. And I came back to... So my partner and I I went to high school, to secondary school with Darian, my partner who co-founded Nemsha with me. And we found ourselves in America and started just twinkling with some things. And interestingly enough, both our dads passed away 2 months separate from each other in 2009. So we both came back to Nigeria. I know in that period, Nigeria was hot now. Like, there was, boys are doing deals, or more. What's happening? And you tell yourself the sexy story of Nigeria. That's what always happens. Don't worry. Saturday buy, I'm at your G-Wagon. Don't worry. Nobody's how we feel. What did they do there? This, that. So we came back, started testing, started doing things. And then in 2010, 11, we were like, let's do it. And we came and opened and I think at its core, while it's sexy and inviting, I think at its core, we always wanted to tell African stories or Nigerian stories.
Okay.
I think that's what really motivates why people sort of, at least for us, is you can be another number telling really great stories in the Western world. They're fantastic stories, especially in motion picture. But I felt this sort of call. And Darren asks me almost every year, if they come to you now and they give you the opportunity to direct Black Panther 3 or James Bond 30, whatever it is, or they say we'll give you that same money to do an African film. And for many years, the answer used to be, of course I'll do James Bond, or of course I'll do Black Panther. And, recently, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, it's not the case. Like, you want to tell African
story.
An original story.
So you see that seed that must have been planted many years ago, and that's why you're where you are.
Okay, but did you notice any lapses in the Nollywood that you felt like, if I come here, I'll be able to,
Many. I just didn't fix them.
Yeah. You didn't fix them.
But many. We still struggle. I mean, in everything, we still struggle with. So I'll say something, and I don't think it should be controversial, but I will say, motion picture is not our format. we're fantastic storytellers.
Storytellers, yeah.
But motion picture is a borrowed format. They're very good at it in the West. We are just learning it. There's not one, at least I don't know one person. Kado is probably in a better position to say. I don't know one person here that's building a camera or building a lens. Do you know anybody that's studying light? There are white people now just studying light. That's what they do. They're studying lenses, glass, how to reshape filters, all that. It's not our format. Music is our format. There's nobody that wants to tell from the beginning of time. Find the black guy, find the white guy. They're doing music. Forget. And if anybody was doing it first, it's us. Like there's no need to. Music is our format. So anything you want to invent in music, you can invent your speaker. We go sabiam. It sure die, right? But motion picture, I think it's a prideful thing that it's okay that we're still learning.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be as good as Avengers. Like the 90s, these people were picking up cameras out of thin air and just saying, oh yeah, you slap them, and films were coming out.
Yeah.
Like that's a point of pride to me. It's not a thing that you're not making the same thing as Mission Impossible. You're just learning that format. Of course, there were the Kelanis and Afolayan's dad and so on in the 70s, and people were doing unbelievable stuff. But I'm saying, as a format, that's not our format. Until today, like I said, we're not studying even the science behind motion picture, right? But I think there are lapses that you talked about. There still are. But not necessarily Nemsha or myself. I think they're all improving over time because we're all getting better at the format. I think production design, sound used to be a
headache.
Disaster. But then again, every able person that comes here, the first thing they do when you say action, they put on their headphones. They just hear from all the generators around. They're like, what the hell is going on? They can never understand it like my guy understands. He's grown up with it.
Yes.
Do you understand?
It's
so
normal.
Production design, stunts is still a problem, whether you like it or not.
Yes.
There are always going to be things that are still, but we're coming to the point now. I won't quite say Roger Dickens or who again? Who's your guy? You have one guy.
Shin Boss.
Exactly.
That's the main guy.
That's your guy. Ola, don't disturb me with this guy. But when you give all the resources and you put a picture and you say, oh yeah, Roger, go and light it. Oh yeah, Kadu, go and light it. It's going to be bloody close. That's where we are at.
That's where we're at, yeah.
What the difference is maybe CGI, maybe building, architecture and sets and things. And that's because some of the best cinematographers, sorry I'm rambling, I get, but some of the best cinematographers have come into that space, but some of the best architects haven't come into film yet. Do you understand? So that will still take some time, right? Stunts, it's going to take some time.
Lots of time.
Yeah, so those are the things, but we're getting there.
Oh, great. But you said something really important. You said our forte mainly is storytelling.
100%.
Drama.
100%.
We love drama in Nigeria.
100%.
And I've noticed too that you also tilt towards drama, and most of your films are usually about consciousness. Correct me if I'm wrong, selflessness, and all of that. What is is that your thing? Is it intentional?
So I just wrote a script now. I just finished a script that only my wife has read and my partner there. And it's about the Aristo world, it's about runs. And how relationships and gender sort of demographics are sort of getting transactional and so on.
Yeah.
And my wife said, all the people that have called you a faith-based director,
They will be disappointed.
they cry. They go put me for prayer now.
I swear.
You won't sure die.
That,
because I've been saying, this is, you get inspired by different things, and this is what inspiring me. I'm inspired by purpose. What are we all doing here? What's your purpose? What's it all for? I have a daughter now. What's really, all that stuff. So that's what has made me make those sort of consciousness drama stories. But it's not that that's the specific agenda. If you speak to my Egbons that are very religious and very heavy Christians, they'll say, God is using you, you don't know. Just leave him to do his work.
Exactly.
So we'll accept it, yeah. So maybe God, who knows? But that was not the focus, And there was Banana Island Ghost, even though it had a God character in it.
Yes.
That was not necessary.
It still did.
I guess so. Although that's I don't know if I told you, Kado, we had an intern, and the day we had her, the first thing she said, "Oh my God, son, breath of life, amazing. Oh God, calling." But now I want to go, sir, you give me my money back, oh. Allah. So it's not always a hit, is my point. Is, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some.
Yeah. So, Cardoso, let's come over to you now. How did you get into cinematography, and then how did you get to meet Mr. BB? And what is it like working with him? Loaded question, I know.
Yeah, it's long. I'll try and make it short. I think from way back, I've loved entertainment. I started as a musician back then.
You sing?
Yeah, I sing.
Yeah.
I
Please
produce.
sing for us today.
Hey,
before
don't
we
do
go.
that. Please don't do that.
You-
That's a setup.
Please, can we go and find
As
the
a setup.
phones?
I
And
said-
cut
I
it
can't
inside
even
and put
try.
it.
Like I can't even try. So at some point I learned sound, like proper recording, mixing and mastering.
Okay.
And I was opportune to work with one of the media company in Nigeria. It's called Monster Music back then. I don't know if they still exist. That was where I found visuals.
Visuals, yeah.
I came across someone, his name is Leke, Baby Leke Enuga. He's such a nice guy. I don't know where, there were a lot of people in that company, but since he knew I was from Surulere, he just, everything they want, if they need someone to do something, call that Surulere guy. If they call that Surulere guy. Like,
Okay.
I almost asked him one day, what did I do wrong, guy? So it was extremely nice, like I said. So at some point, one of the camera guys left because it was during that period, TVC just opened and they were recruiting. So he left because of the pay. And there was just only one camera left. Leke would be like, guy, pick up the camera, let's go. And I was making money from this. I was loving it. Whenever I would finish shooting and bring it back, people don't even believe Ola shot it. Like, even me, I started questioning myself. What's really going on? Is it like I've been learning this while dreaming or something? And it was just Leke who told me, pick it up. This is what you do. This is how you shoot. And that's all. I started shooting music video. And I knew something was missing.
Okay.
So I came across AK1. Akinola Bakari. I think he just got back from film school back then, and that was it for me. Because he was just he's a nice guy too. He just
You've been blessed
opened
with
up.
nice guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
open
Even
up the whole
BB.
thing. And I met BB through AK1
You
as
see.
well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think God just worked in a miraculous way. So that's it.
How has it been like working with him?
Sorry, before that, just to budget, because I know he wouldn't talk about that. He's a loyalist to a fault. So the Leke
great.
guy, we call him GQ, has worked on every Kado production till he just left for Canada recently.
Oh, wow.
Something like that.
So that's who Kado is.
Yeah.
Right. So the paid back many. Once I get to the set, I know I go see Ola, I go see GQ.
Certain.
You sure die. Now you calm down.
Certain.
So
That's nice.
that's the way it goes.
I always tell people I'm more like a mirror. Whatever you push to me is what you get. If you're rude, you get rude. If you're bad to me, you get bad. If you're very nice, you get nice guy. So yeah. Meeting BB, honestly, I think it was quite fast because I wasn't even expecting to be at the point where he called me for Banana Island Ghost. I wasn't expecting him to call me for that. I was thinking he was calling me just to come do some pickup shots because before 30, what I did was second camera with AK1,
Okay.
and all of a sudden he just called me. We want you to DP. I'm like, what does a DP mean? Who's a DP? Because I was a director. Then we really, like I said, I didn't go to film school, so I didn't know what a DP was.
Yeah.
I just knew we were shooting. We were enjoying what we were filming. We are just entertaining ourselves. And that's it. So I was like, so I called AK1. Your guy called me. He wants me to. And I was like, why are you telling me? BB should tell me himself, if you remember.
100%.
It was a bit, it was somehow, but
Yep.
we find a way to, you know, straighten it up. But after that, till the day we shot the first take, the principal photographer, I was extremely like, I don't know how to call it,
Nervous.
but extremely nervous. Like everything just came down on me. I was like, I hope I'm not gonna mess up. I hope I'm, and it came out well in a way, because afterwards people were like, Ola is this, Ola is that. It's just, I think it's just a bit of, it's a combination of all the old experience. Then working with him, it just makes life easier. BB is not the type of director that tells you, I want this, go and figure it out. You guys figure it out together.
Nice.
Like he listens and he's stubborn as well. Don't get me wrong. If he says this is what I want, that's what
That's
he
what he
wants.
wants,
You
yeah.
know. So yeah, it's wonderful working with him.
Great. Kado said something, said he wasn't expecting it, but you just called him out of the blue. Did you see something that made you feel like he was ready? Something that he didn't see himself?
So very interestingly, the credit for that actually goes to my partner, Darren Adeyokunu.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's very weird because Nemsha tends to put out sort of visually appealing films, but I'm not a visual person at all. They always laugh when I say that, but I don't know visuals. The people who know me well, Ola, Echo, Darren, they know that. Like, I can only tell you if it looks bad, but the degrees of good, I know Sabi. And that's not my job.
Okay.
You get the best people in the world who are good at that,
Yes.
and then you leave them to do what they
Yeah.
do. So
yeah.
at most, I'll say, Ola, the light on his forehead seems pretty hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
You get that a
how
lot.
many stops compared to the key light is it? And then sometimes you touch your face, like, Baba, leave him, don't worry. There's a reason. It makes sense. See where we did. This one, that. Okay, you want to cut down. All right, that. But that's about as much as I do. The rest of the visual stuff is to other people who do the visual
The
stuff.
visual stuff, yeah.
But my partner Darren that he was talking about is that's all he cares about. Is he's been the visual director for Nemsha since we've known. I've sort of been the creative director, so I tell the stories. He sort of makes them. And we used to do a lot of marketing, presentations, design, that sort of stuff. But Darren's just someone who's driving around and he's just like, that building looks really interesting. I would never have seen the building. The building is a building is a building.
Yeah.
You have stairs, does it have windows? Let's go. Right? Or if someone is running through the building about to jump off it or fire, that's interesting to me. But the building by itself, who cares? But that's who Darren is, and he's a voracious acquirer of talent. And so we worked with AK1 before 30 was beautiful. Ola did the second camera. There's one shot Ola shot. He knows that I will always love. It was on a Papa seaport,
Yeah.
and he found this fisherman on a canoe.
Yeah.
And he just, by himself, he just was rolling the shot. Then he changed the lens, made it tighter, and rolled the
Yeah.
shot. I used that cutaway in a million things, right? I just loved the way it looked. It was at
Yeah.
sunset and so on. But Darren was just like, have you watched Ola's music videos? I was like, yeah. He's like, no, it's not yet. They're visually stunning. I'm like, I guess. It's not people dancing with an artist and the song is like, no, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. And so he just came to me. He's like, I think Ola should DP BIG. That's who Darren is. I'm like, okay, I trust you visually, da-da-da. Ola Alpha, da-da-da. It's like, I don't know. I have to talk to AK1.
Yeah, I remember.
But okay, da-da-da. So we smoothed it out with AK, who we still work with. AK just did a film for us on our Amazon slate as well.
Nice.
And yeah, the rest is history. All the things that I've directed so far, he's been the DP, and it's been
Amazing.
amazing.
But you just made some points now that I want us to go briefly and talk about. You said something, you're not a visual person. You're more of the storytelling, right? You write your script and all of that. So that brings me to the question, because I think a lot of people get it confused these days as to what the role of a director really is.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because they expect that you, as a director, you figure out almost everything on set. So can you just help me define it? Who is a director really?
Okay. So in the pure sense of the word as to motion picture, the way we know it, a director is the person who sort of brings the story together.
Okay.
In this format, in motion, I keep using that because motion picture is a format,
Yeah.
right? And a writer will be the person who gives the message. The director would have been the orator on the loudspeaker that walks around in the village back then. Emabo, come, and tells you the story the way he knows the people will receive it. right? So the writer may have been the king or the chief, and the director would have been that person if we're taking our own format of
Passes the
storytelling
message.
back then, right? The messenger, right?
Yeah.
So now you now transform that into motion picture. In motion picture, you must cut, you must capture with a camera, you must tell people how to act, you must block them where to walk, all that stuff. How it looks, people think is the director's purview. It's not. He only is supposed to guide it if it is going to tell a different message from the message he wants to pass across. Right? So in this, it's very simple, but it's very clear. You are coordinating and steering the ship of a conversation between two of us. For that reason, you should sit here. It can work that you sit here,
Yeah.
but it makes more sense that you sit
Sit
here and you speak to this person, you speak to me. That's what a director does. Now, you're wearing black. Nice. The mirror, great hair, great skin. Mic is in front of you, nice tea, all that stuff. Simple. If you now wore red and it made us always look at you versus the two people that you're doing the conversation at,
Yeah.
that's the job of a director to say, costumer, not bad, but you've now pulled away from the subject that we're trying to. So the way I look at a director's job is, I'm not interested in what she's wearing until it is
Affecting the
doing
message.
exactly. Right? So that's the job of a director. You oversee all these things that sort of help you craft the message that you want to get across through motion picture format. That means you have to have some awareness of costume, production design, lights, lenses, sound, music, CGI, all those, you know what I mean? But for the most part, my job is to tell a story. Cardo came in here looking like a bad guy. Shades, mad, Versace shoes, all that, da. She was looking fine, chill, the tea. We supposed to pour some tea for ourselves.
Yes, please.
That sort of thing, right? And then we talk, that sort of thing. That's the job. Sometimes the job is easy. You turn on the camera, you step away. Breath of Life, they always say stop saying that. You did a lot in Breath of Life, but the acting was so gripping that I found that the hardest or the most work one did in Breath of Life was the writing.
Yeah.
Once it became the directing, we just hire so many. By the time you come on set, they fix the location, this is that, CreativiTEA EP8 Frost, they don't do this, Daniel don't costume them, Ola don't light them, something. Okay, this is the angle I shoot in. Action now. Yeah. And then Wale Ojo and Chimeze will start. Cut. Let's go. So sometimes there's not your job is to make sure it doesn't go off the rails. Right? You've done the work already of putting the train and the tracks and so on. And your job is just to make sure it doesn't go off the rails. Sometimes you have to build the rails. Christopher Nolan, those films, Oppenheimer, Interstellar, Inception, it feels like you're building the train tracks. Quentin Tarantino, it feels like it's only the things that are here. Nobody else understands. I always tell people directing is extremely collaborative for 99.9% of the directors in the world. There's 0.1% that you cannot understand what's in your mind. So if they tell you A, just do A. There's no need to. Abba Makama. There's no need to. You don't know what he's seeing. Somebody will go put Masquerade inside this scene where we did now. Masquerade is dancing around drinking tea and it's beautiful art. What do you want to tell CJ or Bassi? You can't understand what's in your mind. But for the rest of us, it's, okay, Kado, how do you see it? Okay, let's do that. Okay, costume, Kado is saying that black to the shine. Can we put it in gray? That. Everybody comes together. Before you know it, the scene comes to be.
Grace, now let's talk about your AMVCA Best Movie of the Year, Breath of Life, because you already mentioned it.
Thank God.
I think the story is quite unique. Sometimes some people will feel like, it's a bit foreign. It's foreign at the same time, it's our story. That's what makes it
thank
unique.
You for saying that.
Yeah, it's our story, yeah. So I'd like to know, what's the inspiration behind Breath of Life?
So, at its core, like I said, I've always been obsessed with purpose. Just what are we all doing here? And the one question that Christians and human beings struggle with, because I think you'll be crazy not to believe in some divinity. Like, there's something there. I don't care whether you're a Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, even atheists. I think what atheists are saying is, I don't agree with your definition of God.
Okay.
But I don't think they think
there's no God.
There's nothing bigger than us happening. Whether it's aliens, you must believe there is something bigger than us that's happening. I guess the problem for them is, what's bigger than the thing that you're saying is bigger than us? If something made us, who made that thing? And so on and so forth. But overall, that's not my problem. My own is there's something that sort of works that you must believe in that's bigger than us. There's something controlling the rain today and the sun and, all those things, right? And then what are we doing here in that case? And is it pre-planned for us that Kado was going to wear mad glasses before he came here?
Yeah, this mad glasses. What's going on?
You did tension me.
Should I push it?
I want to put my own
Take it down.
sunshade. Therefore, tell me. But was that predestined?
Yeah.
Or do we really have a choice? Right? And I don't think we're going to be able to answer that question, but I think it's worth conversation on and on and on, and how great really are human beings, right? And so to that effect, purpose was the baseline. Now, I like magical realism, and I think it's one of the things that fits well with Nigerian stories that we don't do, because we believe in a certain level of, there's, whether you call it juju, whether you call it dark stuff, whether you call it Christianity, whatever it is, there's powers that are bigger than us. We believe that more than the average Westerner, so to speak. And so the idea of magical realism, Eric Roth, Forrest Gump, Curious Case of Benjamin Button, where you just take one little tweak and say, this person, I think that fits more in Nigeria, even though people think that's foreign. I think it's in Nigeria that you can say, Omo, Kado is always telling me Surulere stories that I don't believe now. Ask him. You say, we get one guy for Surulere. Omo, if I tell you what that guy do, nobody say, then say, I don't see him. Say, Kado. So I believe it's in Nigeria that I can say, there was a guy that was under that water for 50 minutes. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Abroad, they'll say, no, we've clocked everybody. We have a Guinness Book of Records with this. We know them. But Nigeria, they say, waiting the top. For Nigeria, Delta, get one boy. But when the guy enter water, now tomorrow they come out. Forget. He will come out. Overnight, they watch him. So I believe, okay, there's room for that sort of magical realism, right? And then you add it to the things that make it believable for us, right? Faith. Okay, God no want time to die. So no matter what, he can't, and once I get those sort of pillars around, then the rest just becomes very simple. A houseboy comes to an old man, he's angry, his family is gone. Okay, how did they get along? What this? And he likes egg, he doesn't want to fry egg, and the rest just sort of flows into the normal things that we do. So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's how my mind sort of works. Is there's something driving me at my core as to what I want to, and then the things in my environment that sort of inspire, and then I take examples from where I've seen that before. Big Fish, Curious Case of Benjamin Button, things like that, and then I apply those tools, and then the work goes to them. They'll read it and they're always like, BB, don't come again. Hating BB, they talk, I beg.
I'm not one of them.
When you read it, what did you think? Did you think it was going to be a great movie the first time you saw the script?
Honestly, I'm not trying to watch BB here. Honestly, anything BB writes, I'm always a fan. I'm his number one fan. No matter people, we are a lot. As in, we'll have the VFX guy, the editor, even the colorist. We always say so many things about BB. The only thing we say about BB is that he exaggerates too much, things that we don't even believe in, which I understand. But I'm a big fan, so I wouldn't say I don't believe in the film, because if I don't, then why am I doing it in the first place?
The picture came out great, by the way. So how?
Thanks to BB.
They wash.
How did you have any challenges when you were working? Because I saw this location was amazing. The locations were great. The set design amazing. Loved the directing, the casting, the story. But all of that would have meant nothing if the picture wasn't up to standard. Right?
Why I said thanks to BB is that first he made us shoot on a smaller camera. We rarely shoot on that camera.
Oh, so that was done on a smaller camera.
Yes. The Blackmagic G2 camera. That was my first time shooting with a Blackmagic, and I fell in love with it afterwards.
So that movie, you did it, or you were doing trial and error with Breath of Life?
Not trial and error, actually, because we did test shoots.
Okay, you did test shoots.
Before going on set.
Yes, but Ola is not tooting his horn enough. Well, I do deserve some credit, because budget-wise, we just said we don't have the budget for Red or Ari, which is what people use. And so they said, where are we going? I said, I'm going to do Blackmagic. And him, Jerry, Holmes, Shane, all that, they formed union and were like, this is not going to work. Something.
something like
This, that. But Darren said, if you think it can work, and that's Darren for you. It's like, I've seen black magic shots that are beautiful. So Demola can figure it out. Let them figure it out. So once you force the assignment on them, and so what I'm now trying to say is, this thing that many people feel is the best looking Nigerian film they've ever seen was shot on a black magic. Ola Cardoso shot it on a black magic camera.
So I feel like one of the major things,
not Ari. No, try Dodger. You shot it on a black magic camera. If you give him an iPhone, it will still look unbelievable. I am telling you categorically.
I hope so.
So for all the people going to call Cardoso, don't give her money for Ari again.
don't listen to it.
I mean, we can do such magic on black magic, so why should they go for Ari? But it's a very interesting story.
So it's funny that
challenge when you were
because each camera comes with different look and feel, and for me, I feel like there's a reason they made that camera a low budget camera. So you have to battle with it. You have to go deep into it. Like, make sure you understand how it works in terms of, there's something we call scopes. It's just ways to see if your pictures are looking good or not. Not just by the monitor. You actually can see the graph, how it looks, I think it's a mix of audio look and visual look to me. So I kind of understand. So for me, I did a lot of research. I remember one of the editors saying to me that, man, the stops, you have to expose by one stop, I'm like, don't worry, I'll just figure it out. And afterwards, from the test shoots, I realized something. It's not just the settings. It's actually how you light it. Because what we did that day was we kind of used a mix of both daylight and tungsten. And it looked beautiful without setting up. To be honest with you, that's what I saw that day. And the only thing I gave it away was just that I felt like, okay, we had a good lens. Maybe that's the giveaway. You have to have a good lens with it. Don't just try to, because it's a good camera, I just pick it up. That's the only thing that makes a smaller camera big. Invest more on the glasses and even the filters. And unfortunately, we didn't have filters on it. But thanks to Jerry, the colorist,
Oh, wow.
the VFX and colors person, Jerry Asai. And that's the other thing, you have to give them time, right? It wasn't that it went slow. He's always telling me, this is one battle I always have. It's not that we're actually slower. It's that it's at the most frustrating time. When the picture looks beautiful, you see him and Jerry talking, you already know they are going to frustrate your life. It looks wonderful. They'll say, that black is crushing.
Yeah,
I say, what are you talking about? It looks gorgeous. They're like, it's not the picture. The scope is telling us. Wait, dirty scope. Wait.
Because monitors lie most of the time.
And I always say something to that frustrates them. I'm like, is the audience watching scope or are they watching the film? I'm looking at the film here. It looks beautiful. You're telling me scope is. But they don't. They're engineers in a sense.
Yes.
They are looking at the actual technicalities behind it. And so you have to trust some of that stuff and say, oh yeah, take your extra 10 minutes and get the scope to agree with you. But other than that, excellent job.
Yeah, it really came out great, and I'm sure a lot of people will be surprised. I'm sure they were thinking you shot that thing on the Ari or something.
We get that a lot.
Yeah, it's amazing. So kudos to you, and kudos to the colorist, like he said.
Yeah,
for
Jerry
doing an
Asai.
Amazing job.
Right.
But then I have to now ask this question, right? Breath of Life got like 11 nominations at the NVCA. And everybody was expecting that you would win.
Help me ask.
In the category of cinematography.
Help me
But
ask.
somehow...
I was ready to make the speech, so...
Yes! But somehow it didn't happen. How did you feel?
Honestly, before then, I already knew I wasn't going to win.
Why and how?
He did.
I've been saying it, and I wasn't even in Lagos.
He wasn't in Lagos. I tried to force him
Abuja.
to come to Lagos. He said, BB, I know go win. I know they come.
So
why were you so sure?
Something just tells me that, and more so, we have some good films on that category. Like Mami Water, I've heard so much about Mami Water. I've not seen it yet.
Black Book.
Yeah, Black.
You
No, Black
heard
Book
what-
wasn't on that.
It was.
No, Black Book wasn't.
Oh, it was. That was the big problem.
Yeah, it
I also
wasn't.
said it should have been nominated, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
You're
it
right.
wasn't
Okay,
on
for
the.
cinematography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Black Book
So
wasn't there.
for me, also, I was just
Over
like
the Bridge.
Over the
with,
Bridge
KC,
won it,
and
yeah.
it won it, right?
Yeah, so but I haven't even seen that. I only saw the trailer. I just felt like this is Ninja somehow, you know. And when the award was called, I didn't even know. It was, I think, my wife or my friend that sent it to me that I would have given it to someone else. I was just like, yeah, what do you expect? I was filming, so I wasn't bothered, you know. I noticed on that set, everybody was just, and that's the only time I felt bad. Like they weren't happy. They've
Yeah.
been saying
Yeah.
we're rooting for you,
Yeah.
you know. But it is what it is. We're all winners, you know.
100%.
And to be honest with you, my major, I won't lie. I was telling Kimo, I said to him that BB won. That was the only question I was asking, and it was like they've not called him yet. They've not called it yet. But by the time they called it, and I was like, to be honest with you, that was the only thing that made my day.
Oh.
Because for me, I saw all the works. Let me tell you one thing a lot of people don't know about BB, and he hasn't said that yet, is that he spends more time on the film than any other thing. Like, I'm sure Breath of Life went through at least 3 years. Yes. Writing process, reading, all of that, and shooting process. Then we shot Breath of Life 2022. Came out 2023 ending, and before 2022 that we shot it, they've been on it for like a year before then. So I see that artwork and I'm like, it deserves more than the award. So honestly, when they called for best writer, best director, best film, I was just like, let them just give it to this guy, man. Like, and that's it for me.
And
As
they
far
did,
as
right?
yeah,
They got like 5
you know,
wins, right?
Well, I mean, the film did, yes, which is great. I'm grateful for the best
You
director.
won Best
I
Director,
was
yeah.
sure that we were not going to win anything, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, because the things that we thought were a lock were 3 things. We thought, forget anything else. Sound and music,
Okay.
because people just
love.
love the music and the thing.
Yeah.
Cinematography, except they are like we were so sure. Now I said if we win one award, and even in God Calling, we got a bunch of nominations.
Yeah.
They gave us makeup and what and lighting.
And lighting,
so we
yeah.
thought this is what they would do again. That you know how to shoot. Don't worry, just
Just
take
give
just,
them.
just take shooting, and then even production design. Although I
Yeah,
thought
production
maybe Jagging
design.
but those are the 3 that we. So when we didn't win those 3, I looked my wife
You
and
lost
said,
it already.
These are
You
Ghana way
you didn't know more is coming.
These are Ghana way you go so. He like say we go return now. So I thought, especially because of cinematography, I thought, man, there's no chance. But then the actors started getting, and I was like, okay, I guess the acting is where they want to sort of focus on. But it turned out to be great. I didn't think, truth be told, I didn't think I cared enough about it. But then when you won it, it was. And Allah has won before now, so
Yeah, he has won
he's
before.
senior me win now.
They
So
use that one bribe me.
yeah,
Right?
exactly, exactly.
So how did it feel? How did it feel?
It was a good moment for everyone. Like Ola said, a lot of work went into it. A lot of people put in. We have something that's very weird. I'm sure Ola doesn't love it, and I'm sure I'm the only person that he still cannot charge full price. I'm sure I'm the only person. It's like, I used to give other people deal. Please
Do
say
I
yes
charge you?
so that my
Do I
deal.
charge you?
That's my point now.
We don't charge now. You guys just tell me this is what we have, and we go.
God help him if he says it's free, because we have a slate of films. So we just say,
Yeah.
call Kado. So we already know. We say, Kado, what are you working on now? He go, I have because otherwise we don't add down to another project. But ultimately, what I'm trying to get at is we have a theory at NEMSHA that we don't hire people we can afford. It's very weird, but if we can afford your fee, we don't want you on set. At least in the leadership roles.
Yeah.
We want the people who they are so good at what they do, we can't afford them. And then also because they're making that sacrifice, they definitely want to be here. So it's double sort of tie-in for us. And that's it, just across board. You see that, can't afford Eku, but we pay a producer fee. Can't afford Kado, we find some way to pay him.
Yeah.
Can't afford Kelechi, he's an architect.
Yeah.
Can't afford Daniel Bassi, well, we find something to pay him. Frosty does commercials. So when he comes and does film, he's losing money.
Losing a
He's
lot of
losing
money.
money, sure. It's just our thing. Like, that's how we guarantee that we're getting sort of the best
Value,
stuff, right? And so it meant a lot for all those people that I've called, Jerry Osai, but just a bunch of people who were in those roles to then get the reward of, because everybody bought in, I must say, with Breath of Life. With every other thing, people were excited. Oh, God calling, Zainab will fall from bridge. Or we'll always do something that's interesting and exciting. But
That's
this
I
one
noticed.
felt like people were excited about the whole film for the first time. And yeah, it was good to get that recognition so that everybody. But we, I think, had all celebrated in December when the ratings were going quite high. Everybody was getting that was the time that everybody was getting disturbed. Like your phone was ringing off the hook. People were, oh my God, this thing is amazing. People would call you on video call crying, just so you see them crying. My this auntie from this place sent it to So I think we're sort of already happy from that. But it was good to get a specific sort of stamp that says, you
did a great job.
did a great job.
Yeah.
But the win did come with a bit of controversy. I don't know if you saw it online where people were saying, "Oh, the Tribe of Judah should have won." It was supposed to, So I think they were like divided. The fans were divided. Some for Tribe of Judah and some for Breath of Life. How did you feel about that?
So I'm not on social media of any kind,
Oh.
so I wouldn't have seen the stuff.
You did see it, right?
I saw some, yeah.
But I will say that yes, Tribe of Judah, anything Funke does, just they're not. What are we arguing about? That's our senior.
I'll say Tribe of Judah has won already. They made it over $1 billion.
Yeah, what are we arguing about?
What are you need? You got rewarded for it.
And
Why
she's
do you
won,
need an
like,
award?
Several times, yeah.
Ultimately, she's won to make that, but ultimately, when I see her, auntie, there's nothing to say. She's her. Like, do you understand? When it comes to she's her. When it comes to storytelling, we are learning work. So at the purest form of it. Forget motion picture.
Yes.
This guy, my ability to engage this guy. I'm here. I can try. I can find something. I can. Okay, man, I go blast down small. Something. But Funke will engage him. He sure die. There's nothing you don't talk about. Tony Abraham will engage. Those are is in their DNA. So when people are getting angry about the tribe, I understand. I would say I don't think they're getting angry about the Tribe of Judah versus Breath of Life. They're getting angry that so Funke walk and no give him. Don't name them. If she wake up, give him a word.
But I think one of the major problem is not just the award. I think what they did from AMVC was they trimmed down some of the awards.
Right.
If they had all the awards on board, probably they will be able to push some of the awards to other people.
Okay.
Like I can remember, best acting used to be based on voting. There's best lighting, which is light design. There's makeup artist split out. Now everything is just all in one.
Okay.
Like SFX now is not under
With makeup.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Music is under sound
music
design.
is, like
lighting is under cinematography. Yeah.
there's just so many things. So I feel like the awards now, they've now reduced it. So if you're going on with like 4 or 5 awards, you've taken all in a way. I think there are like 10 awards or 11 or 12, which back in those days there are more.
And they Breath of Life took like 5.
No, it's the Trailblazer. I think it was like 6.
They don't actually say award. Join now. You sound like alright. That's all it is.
Yeah, because
it's because of Breath of Life that
yes,
they
no, it's because of Breath of Life.
People. They collect award with no problem.
In a way, because no, think about it. Why didn't they give him best supporting?
Interesting. They gave Demola best supporting.
That's what I'm saying. It was meant to be 2 of them.
Okay. I hear you.
So I feel like it was more like, okay, you want this. Let's just give it to you. you know, because he really killed.
He killed
Breath
it.
of
The
Life.
actors killed it. Every one of
Yeah,
them.
they really did.
Every one of
But how
them.
were you able to get them to be in that? Because it's one thing to act, but it takes directing to get them to really be in character and to say, oh, instead of doing it like this, why don't you do it like this? It's more. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think it takes a lot of intelligence and directing. How are you able to do that to get actors to?
So I think the first thing is, and true no fault of any production, Nigeria just doesn't have the bandwidth yet that allows the capital that allows the resources to be worth the investment for actors, to take the time to. IMD is a fantastic actor, but Daniel Day-Lewis, he only needs to do one project every 4 years now.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
IMD can't afford to say I'm only going to do one project every 4 years and probably likes it too much anyway, but just the practicality of it. So he's not going to have the amount of time, the wherewithal, the resources, all that stuff. Even if the talent base at its baseline is equal. The amount of infrastructure around Daniel Day-Lewis is night and day. So one of the first things that I try to do is just give them time, right? So once we've started casting, I send them stuff many months before I know we're going to go into production. And I'm just exciting them. Look at this film, look at this, that, talk. We do reading after reading after. That's my thing that I love.
Yeah.
When I'm writing, I'll call actor friends, even if they're not going to be in the film. We'll do a table read. We'll give them small chicken, give them tea. We'll read. We'll say, oh, I like this, I hated this. I'll go and revise it, change something, do it again, do it. So people have come to know, like, oh, are you going to a table read with BB? Are you know? So then the actors who have likely come to one table read before, when they get cast, they're like, so it's me with this role, okay, cool. Then they have time to sit with it. The second thing is I'm a firm believer in sort of understanding the way people like to work
Okay.
and then focusing on that. Chimeze is a natural, interestingly enough, this is weird to say, but he's a natural comedian.
Okay.
Everything that was funny in Breath of Life, he improved. We just sort of let him be the Elijah character. All the asthma stuff, he was supposed to do it, but the way he does it, the timing, the slipping down, the falling, the awkward look he has, the eggs, all that stuff is him. Wale Ojo is a seasoned, he's very, very chatty, very fun, very all that. But then when it's work time, he wants everything to just sort of close around him. Many times, if it's an important scene, he say, "Baby, I beg," and it's only Ola and I that will be there. Everybody else will leave, and we know if he's going to cry, he's going to cry once.
Yeah.
So he'll say, "Baby," I'll look at Kadu, I'll say, "Would have done our test, our this focus pool, this, that." Kadu, and I'll say, "Kadu, medium or close up? Which one should we?" Now one time, now only one time you go give us that. So you just sort of need to know how to work with the actors. Eku was producing while she was acting.
Yeah. I
So
saw
that scene that she had to do the fire car
she
with
was
the baby,
so
and
good, by the way.
she was very good at it.
Yeah.
She was putting out fires, walking around in her purple dress, this, that. And then she's like, "I need 30 minutes. Nobody." And she just put on her headphones and walked to some weird cliffside because we're shooting on some cliff. And no matter what's happening, don't come and disturb me and all that. And then when somebody has bent up all that stuff, they need you to just go. So, just working with a team that sort of understands them. Kado are very good at that. They're, what's her name? That, to me, interestingly enough, dare I say this, I think the most natural talent, the person who's just bursting out of their seams with talent, other than Demola, is probably Genoviva. Would you say?
Lady.
Yeah, I will.
She-
I don't think there's a time I can.
She just...
She's a natural.
She's
She
just
won,
a natural.
right?
Yeah, she won.
She won.
She's
Yes.
just a natural. I mean, she takes things that are here and turns them into... That scene of her being locked in a room was just go
And struggle
do
with
the
it.
door. I mean, like, "Mommy, open the door. What is this? Mommy, open the door." She just turned it into a violent, I'm trapped, I'm being imprisoned, I'm crying. Everything I've wanted for is across the other side of the door. I need to get through. We just didn't say cut. That's what happened. We just...
To bless
Yeah.
you guys. She even broke the door.
She broke the door handle.
Really?
She broke the door handle.
Wow.
I had to fix
So we had
it.
to fix it, do another take. So you don't plan for that, right? You
Yeah.
just get out of the way and let
Yeah.
them do what they do, right? But each person has a different dynamic. Demola Idoin made us he made Sambasa beat him for that scene that they were torturing his family in the car.
Yeah.
Sambasa was stepping on his neck, and Sambasa to that one is a weary. He's already a weary, so you don't want to give him extra. And Demola will come up. There's fake SFX blood. There's some Demola blood. And you're like, guys, this is getting to you. He's like, no, let's go again.
Wow.
Kado, are you ready? Let's go. I'm feeling it. Let's go. Sambasa, let's go. And you're like, where is he getting too dangerous? But you just let some of these people. I mean, his eyes were red. I was like, did you go and smoke something before this?
I saw that. It felt so real.
So real. Like,
Yeah.
So a lot of that credit goes to them, to be fair. But you sort of learn to work within their own environments and let them do what they do. And then your team. I mean, that's where me and him are very, very much in sync. When it's time, that's the one thing I don't suffer. I don't like the actor is ready to go because you may miss it. Actor is ready to go. Then, and once in a while, Kado, like, he doesn't hear you. Like, once in a while, I say, that light, BB, I beg. I'm like, no, they're ready. He's like, I beg. And if he knows I'm not going to give him, he'll just run on the sets. Because he just run and start doing like this. I say, oh, yeah, everybody just take one. But it has to, he's seeking perfection. They're seeking perfection. We all are, so.
Hey, that's interesting. That's very, very interesting. It's been a very, very, very exciting episode for me, and I think a very big eye-opener.
Please let me pour some tea.
You have to. So I'm going to ask you one more question before. I think we have some tweets we need to read, right? But let me ask you one more question. And the question is for both of you. Let me start with you, Cardoso.
Okay.
What is that one thing you say you are most proud of in Breath of Life?
That thing I'm almost proud of.
In the film, the whole film.
I'm trying to remember, like, it's just so many things to talk about.
But at least one should just, top the list.
Honestly, if I don't think this will top the list, but I feel like almost all the scenes were crafted and we went all in. I don't think there's a scene we did and I was just like, this is a one-off. Like, there's none. But I think one of my favorite scenes, if that's the case, is the scenes where Eku's dad acted.
Eku's dad was in the movie?
Yeah.
He was a magistrate.
The magistrate.
That frees
because,
baby fire.
for me, it's like seeing those olden days film in real life. Does that make sense? Like, the whole what's it called, truck moving firewood and some guy just riding bicycle. It just feels kind of real and organic. And at the point where we now got in, like the way we stack up the room, the people in the window, like it just feels unreal and real at the same time. Like, what's going on here? Even with our filming, we have to create space for ourselves. So for me, it felt like this is what we call like planning. And it's funny we didn't shoot that part in Ibadan. We traveled all the way to Oyo, inside Oyo.
Wow.
Like, is that crazy? And if you see that small hut, it's not you feel like, why do we all travel down here just because of this? But it looks good and it's amazing.
Yeah. And
What about you?
I'm going to cheat. I don't think I can give you one thing, but I'll go through them fast. I think there's maybe 3 things that were interesting. One, which is, again, testimony to sort of everybody. And I will throw back a bunch of kudos to Kado and his team especially. We had 2 scenes that were one shot. Just a tracking shot. It's hard to rehearse. The Steadicam guy has to be great. Kado hates them because you can't actually light, because anywhere you turn, you're going to see the lights. And you say, BB, I beg, may we avoid this side? We are like, nope, the actor needs to turn. This is a chronic scene. So he now has to light with daylight, bounce board, or follow a LED light that's carrying people around, and then follow focus. And so he sort of hates when we do those, but he's like, when we're done, we will look at each other like, mad, and nobody would know. And that's the key, is that when nobody knows, that's when you know that it was a good shot. But the shot where they fight, where she slaps him.
Yeah.
And he comes after she's gone to tell the Timmy that how can you not help him and Yeah.
By the lake.
By the lake, and then she comes out. No, by the house. She comes out and tells Elijah that he's not your dad. He doesn't believe in you. Then he's like, 49 million to sell the church. I wonder how much to sell his daughter. That whole thing is one shot. Then we now cut to a wide shot for the slap. Just she just and then we cut to this stock wide shot. So it feels like good filmmaking to me. I don't know, just some kudos for that. It feels intimate.
But I wasn't happy though, to be honest.
I'm sure you were not.
I wasn't happy because that wasn't our wide shot. The wide shot was extremely wide. But the editor trimmed it down.
CG. We had to CG the house.
Okay, I see.
So, and it was time and a bunch of things. But basically, we had an even more, we had talked about it, that can we pull this off? Wanted one Lawrence of Arabia, why? Like, so very intimate, very tight, these two people, how much to sell his daughter? And then you cut to this super wide shot that says they're done. Like, the separation, all that. So that was well executed. That was nice. I enjoyed that.
Oh, wow. I mean, like, the ones you guys enjoyed is like, are you serious?
Which one did you enjoy?
What
Which one did you enjoy?
With Ecuador, with the burning is like epic.
Iconic.
Like
So a lot of people, yes, the burning scene.
You know,
Everybody was like,
the mood there was just that's the part that I started getting teary a little bit, like,
Do you know what's
So
crazy?
it's funny that scene you guys were talking about were shot in pieces. We're talking about scenes that means a lot to us.
I know.
You're talking about scenes that
like the ones that we can.
Not only is it shot in pieces, I don't know about Kado, but I can categorically tell you everything, Baby Fire Gang, that scene with the we didn't know if it was good.
yeah, we're just shooting.
We're shooting. We're worried about them. Kado, in fairness, they kept giving me confidence to the thing. Baby, trust me. No, it makes sense. Sometimes it makes sense. But guy, I gotta tell. I didn't know. I'm like, I didn't look at this thing like it's stupid. Who are these idiots wearing masks? Where you could drive it on bicycle, motorbike, shooting people, then the car burning. Why are you burning?
But honestly, when they were leaving the town,
correct.
Where was the guy came out? Sambasa came out of the bush and this fire burning. Like
correct.
it was more like an Indian film.
Yes, it was Bollywood. And we wanted to be like, we were like,
but I knew that was gonna look good.
Yeah.
Then the drone shots, the drone shot of the bikers going
following them, that stuff looked great. But
that road looked beautiful.
It did. But the thing I would say that was, it's very nice.
But it's beautiful. It's very nice. Funny enough.
Interesting note about that, which is the second thing I'm proud of, is that the scene where we kill Jeremy at the carnival, right, where he's dead, what makes him see Baby Fire wasn't meant to be that. It was meant to be in town.
Yeah.
Which we had got this perfect location on a hill.
We even shot there.
We shot, you know where Elijah's giving out flyers.
Yeah.
That's where they were meant to kill Jeremy. In front of his car, glass was supposed to shatter, all that stuff. We had planned it. When we went to shoot the Elijah one, that Elijah scene has only 2 seconds. It's a whole scene. That's the first time he sees Anna. We couldn't use it. We took it all out because Agberos did not let us shoot.
Oh, wow.
No, I cannot stress this enough to you. I thought Lagos was... We had
extreme.
Police. We had military. We had... Do they call them OPC? What do they call them? The Amotekun.
Yeah.
We had all 3 of them.
We even had like the leader
and then we now had the people themselves. And what will happen is... It's very organized though down there. I know it's not skinny, although that's how them Kado also shoot in Lagos Island with Baba Omo.
Yeah.
Very organized. You calm them down for 30 minutes. They'll eat, they'll chill, and they'll be calling themselves. Oh, Akposi, they'll be
more coming.
Like more will come. Then when they reach the new number, they just tell you, oh, yeah, you can't walk. 1 or 2 boys start saying, hey, you just know, okay. It's like you now go and talk again. Talk to one soldier will slap somebody, one person with this, one person. You will now pause for another 1 hour. So we had shot that scene. And then we were supposed to now shoot the Jeremy kill scene a few days later, the next day or something or whatever. We're like, it's not that we would never get through that scene. So we went from there to we called all the leaders, Ola, Kelechi, Eku, this, that. He said, what are we going to do? We need a new location, we need a new place.
Wow.
And we just went to Obadam, which is right in UI. I said, let's do something in UI because we can control that. Yeah. And we came up with that scene there. And production design style said, let's make it a carnival.
Yeah.
They said, okay, let's get a teddy bear stand.
That was actually tricky because that wasn't the plan at all.
They did
the
that
carnival thing was.
They built that thing in 2 days.
Yeah, wasn't
the entire carnival built it. So that's a team. Yeah. That's what excites. That's where you call the best people. We just had a road, and then they started saying, Echo and Kelechi say, what if we put a something, let's have
Yeah.
get all the same extras, change what they're wearing because it's carnival, this, that, all kinds of, and then we said, okay, Ajeromi in front of teddy bears so that the fluff can be doing instead of the glass.
Yeah.
And that's how that scene came to be. So even though when I see it, I'm not in love with the scene because I know what it could have been, I'm proud of us being able to
pull something.
put something together in a day.
That's amazing. That's really. We've had quite a lot today. So
Thank you very much.
going forward, what advice do you have for upcoming filmmakers, and what's your dream for Nollywood?
Wow. I'll start with the dream, I guess. I think I want it to be I want us to be able to tell whatever stories we truly want to be able to tell in motion picture format. I think that's the point that it will become. I don't need to measure it against Avengers. I don't care if we ever get there. But I don't feel as if there's any film they want to tell in Korea that they can't tell.
Yeah.
Do you understand? You're never going to think Korea is as big as Hollywood. But they can tell whatever film
they want to tell.
they can make whatever film they want to make. They can tell whatever story they want to tell. I think that's where music is. I don't think there's any song type of, the same way Beyonce just wakes up and says she's going to do country music now, right? And Kenny, Wizkid head don't spark long before Beyonce head. He's like, okay, I'm doing a reggaeton, or what is that album that you went to give us, right? And you can do that, right? And do it at the level that the top reggae type people are doing it at, right? That's where I want us to get to, right? And I think I measure it against Asia because they're not using Hollywood, not even close. They're not using Hollywood money.
They're even like us in a way. They like drama.
They love drama.
They love drama.
Love drama, but they can they can stretch their own money. You see the thing, they are climbing on leaves and all kinds of crazy stuff and shooting 1 million arrows into the sky. You see how much was this budget? 20 million.
Yeah.
Something that would have been 300 million in America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they are gone, right? So that's where I dream of us getting to. You, and then we'll talk about
Your advice first. I'll
Okay.
go with mine.
advice. It is hard. Let me actually say it the hard way. I think there's so many great minds that are not yet. I keep telling Kado, although I think I may change that statement. I say Nollywood has not made a good film yet. We've made many films we enjoy.
Yeah.
We've not made a good film yet, which is there are no mistakes in this film. Breath of Life still had mistakes. There are no mistakes end to end, right? And we can be as proud of it as we want. I'm not sure that we're there yet, but coming very close. The people that are going to make those films, they're coming. You don't know them yet. They're not in Nollywood yet. There's some kid somewhere that's just picking a camera now that's going to do some stuff that is mad.
That's crazy.
That is crazy, right? So I think it's a sexy business. I think it keeps getting diluted by the glam of it, the non-talented glam of it. If you don't care about film, if you're not really great at film, that advice where they say somebody's singing and none of their friends tell them, say, if you sing. Okay, so this is that part of the podcast. If you don't know how to tell stories, it is a tough business. Don't waste your time. You may see mad dress at the MVCA or on Premiere or this BBN Bell person or BBN or what do they call it is doing Kini. That's not what Nollywood is. You need a lot of dedication. Most times you're not getting paid. It's crap. We've still not made a film that has made money. Breath of Life was a
Tribe of Judah.
no. Nemsha.
Okay.
Before 30 made money.
Okay.
Banana Angles lost money. God Calling didn't make money. Breath of Life lost money.
Really?
So, yes. And not through any fault of Amazon gave us $500,000. So it's just that we spent 516. So we're idiotic that way. But my point is, it's a tough business.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for them. I'm not saying it's so you feel bad for her. We have a slate. We're going to make money. But ultimately, it can feel like a sexy business. If you don't care about it, if you're not passionate about it, don't waste your time. Now, on the flip side, if it has been burning you and choking you inside, but you're in some hairdresser shop or some bank or some hospital somewhere. Leave that shit today and let's go. You know, you don't need to be told.
Yeah.
If what you do best is tell stories, figure out how to get here, because this is the time.
This is the time. Interesting.
Honestly, I'm surprised to hear this one, BB.
Well,
There's no perfect movie. Honestly, I feel like there's never gonna be a perfect movie.
True.
I'm sorry to say that, but
No, true.
if there's gonna be a perfect movie, then why are we all? Let's just leave it and let that person. I beg. I just feel like we're all just gonna keep trying, and we do what most of the time. Some people just want you to just have fun.
Yeah.
Like, what would you say about comedic film? What would you say about rom-com? They just want you to. They just want to entertain you. So for me, I think my advice is, just pick your camera, go and tell your story. Like, it might just be funny that story you feel like nobody's gonna like might be the best that will come out of Africa or out of the world. Go out there and tell your story, and that's it for me. Then I think you had another question.
yes, for Nollywood, your dream for Nollywood.
My dream for Nollywood, honestly, I feel majorly, I think BB has said it all. I want, in the next 10 years max, I think I want Nigeria to be in a level of, because honestly, I'm just being selfish here. I don't see myself working my ass out every year and we're not getting there. I want us to be there. I want us to be right there in the map, where people are coming in here to, sort for talent, get, DPs, directors from Hollywood. I'm not trying to say Korea or whatever. I love them, but Hollywood is the game. That's my dream. Hollywood is the game. Like, I want us to fly into Hollywood and making film, coming back to Nigeria. Because I think sometimes ago, there was this VFX guy that was being paid from Nigeria that worked on Avengers. I've forgotten his name. Like, I was so proud, super proud to hear that.
Yes.
That's what I want to hear in the next max 3-4 years. Like, okay, DPs are now flying to Hollywood to film. And I don't mind it. Let's just start from
It's
me.
possible, don't worry.
Let's start from me. I want to be selfish.
Okay, that's interesting. We've really had an amazing time here today, and I'm sure you enjoyed the episode, because I did, and it was an eye-opener for me, and I think anybody in the film industry or in the creative industry will have one or two things to learn. So I think with that, we can draw the curtains for today's episode. But before then, I have a gift for you guys. Please let me have the gift, please. Courtesy one of our sponsors, please. Let's have the gifts.
Wow.
Yes, thank you so much for coming. I really, really appreciate this.
I think we're very grateful. We're getting gift again. We're supposed to not they do film now. Podcasting we're supposed to they do. Kado, we don't do now. You get sponsor, Kado.
I never
never get sponsor. And if we call you,
you don't get sponsor. You don't get sponsor.
I get sponsor.
You don't get sponsor.
Courtesy Imperial Cosmetics.
Imperial, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, one more question before you go. You said something about Amazon. I just realized. So, how do film makers, how can they get connections with Amazon, Netflix, and the rest to make their movies? I'm sure they would want to know.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Amazon's tricky because they're on a sort of slowdown is the word they use. They're not on a pull-out. They're still on Nigeria, but they're on a slowdown in acquisitions. So they're going to come out and announce who's handling acquisitions and so on. I don't know the information of who's responsible for that yet. But when they were here, there weren't any gatekeepers anyway. They were easy to contact on LinkedIn directly.
Okay.
For Netflix, I think there's 2 or 3 companies. The prominent one being Film One.
Film One, okay.
Film One looks at your film. And that's the thing, like Kado said, go make it. Film One is non-partial because they know it's not about cinema anymore. They have the films that they want to craft for cinema. They have the films for streamers. So they'll look at your stuff. They think it's good enough. They'll put it right in their catalog to Netflix, get it sold, get you paid, get it on there. So, and I'm sure Amazon will explain exactly how that works. And even though we keep hearing rumors that all these other people are coming, I mean, Disney did Iwaju, which was great. We think that's their sort of teaser type thing. There's Apple TV, there's HBO Max. So hopefully all these things sort of, we have conversations with all these people, but they're not yet sure. But Amazon and Netflix have processes, and Film One's probably your best bet.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much for that.
Absolutely.
All right, so thank you so much for coming on today's episode. I hope you have fun. Please, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I will go and look for Mr. BB or Cardoso. They will answer your questions. So if you have anyone, just leave them in the comments, and we will attend to it. So thank you so much
Thank you
for
all.
staying
Thank you all.
tuned.
Thank you for
Until
having us.
next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.